For me, mentoring is an opportunity to open up a safe space in which junior researchers, so early career researchers, and more senior researchers can meet and discuss questions that the more junior researchers might have, raise any topics that they find important for themselves in their careers or for their future careers, and really open up a safe space for discussion. It is important to me because I had informal mentors during my career, and I think it is a brilliant and excellent idea to institutionalize a mentoring program so that early career researchers have somewhere they can turn to and know where they might find a mentor. Because if you have an informal mentoring relationship, you very much depend on luck to meet the right person at the right time. And if you're not in the right networks, so your network doesn't offer you the chance to meet a mentor, then an institutionalized official mentoring program is really the thing you need as an early career researcher. And that's why I thought it would be good to offer my advice and become a mentor. I had a number of informal mentors, so I didn't take part in an official mentoring program. But I remember quite vividly that at some point, when I was still a PhD candidate, I met a professor at a conference who was interested in the topic of my paper, and we got chatting after my paper. And he then invited me to send him a chapter draft of my PhD, which I very happily did. And if he hadn't invited me, I would probably never dreamt of asking him whether he could read my draft. So he invited me to send his draft. He provided feedback, and more importantly, he put me in touch with an author, a literary author in the UK that he knew personally. And I was doing my PhD on that author's novels. So that was a very beneficial contact, a very fruitful contact that developed out of that informal mentoring. Well, I didn't encounter straightforward discrimination in any kind. But I have often found myself, and I'm still finding myself, in situations in which I have to defend my position, my opinion, myself as a person, against more senior, often male colleagues. It is not always easy to defend yourself and your own position against that hierarchical power that comes with being a more senior male professor. And I think that those were the obstacles that I have faced, I'm still facing at some point, sometimes. And then there is another obstacle which I think is related to being a parent, to being a mother. Because once you're a mother, many colleagues, both male and female, I have to say, tend to write you off. So they seem to assume that you're no longer available for research relationships, for research collaboration, no longer available for coming to conferences, and for all sorts of collaborations, really, because they assume that your first priority is now to your child. And this is something that I think is specific to female researchers. I don't know that many male researchers who are fathers who have to re-establish themselves in the academic field once they have become a parent. If you start out as a researcher, as a female researcher, during your PhD phase, there are no specific differences between the female researchers and the male researchers. But the higher up you climb the career ladder, the more pronounced the differences become. Because the higher up you climb, the more male colleagues you are surrounded with. So female researchers tend to drop out at some stage during their career, drop out more easily at some stage during their career. And I think that the power imbalances become more pronounced in the more senior positions. I would say that this is not something particular to my field. I'm a humanities scholar, so the push for gender equality has already been quite successful in the humanities, but at the top positions tend to be claimed by men. And I think that is something that needs changing if we really want to establish gender equality. I would like to see myself as offering them a safe space in which they can raise any topic and any question that they think is important for themselves and also for their future careers. I would also like to mention that I think that a mentoring relationship is not a one-way street. So I feel very enriched by the discussions that I have with my mentees, because they allow me to gain another perspective on the situation that many early career researchers find themselves in, which also helps me to recalibrate my own relationship to the more junior colleagues in my own team. Because of the very specific situation that we find ourselves in here in Luxembourg, we are a small country with one university. I think that it is important for mentees to get a good idea of the different cultural traditions in our neighboring countries. And as I have a long history, I would say, in German academia, I can support them with finding their way within German academia. I know quite a bit about the UK system, I know quite a bit about the French system, so I think that this international mix is something that our students, our PhD candidates really need to know about, and also our post-doctoral researchers. If they want to stay on in academia, they might find themselves in a situation when they have to decide whether they want to leave Luxembourg or not. And if they want to leave Luxembourg, they have to go abroad. And they have to become part of a different academic tradition. And it's always good to know the rules, especially the unwritten rules of those traditions, before you try to immerse yourself in them.